next speaker. So we have Niall O'Rahelly, who is the Ireland Aquaculture Community Manager with Hatch. So Niall is a marine biologist with an extensive background in shellfish aquaculture industry. In addition to the experience there, Niall was an auditor of the aquaculture industry in the UK for about 6 years. So Niall is really passionate about the sustainable aquaculture and promoting Ireland's industry as a global player. So today we hear from Niall and the opportunities available through Hatch. So take it away, Niall.
Thanks, Kleena. Share my screen. Unfortunately, I don't have any soft porn in my presentation like Mara, but so I am the Ireland Aquaculture Community Manager at Hatch, which is a global catalyst for sustainable aquaculture and alternative seafood innovation. So I'll quickly just explain a little bit about Hatch, how the business works, and then the type of funding opportunities that are available through the different programs that we run, specifically here in Ireland. So the story of Hatch, it is an Irish company founded in 2017 with the goal to revolutionize the way we produce seafood through responsible investment in technological development of aquaculture and alternative seafood. To date, we have invested in 39 companies around the world, raised 2 funds. We closed our first fund at 8.4 million, and we are currently on track for our much larger fund, the Blue Revolution Fund, for a round of investing in 2023. The business has grown to 22 full-time members, and we have 3 physical locations in Norway, Singapore, and Hawaii. The vision of Hatch is to catalyze farmed and alternative seafood innovation through responsible investment in expertise and insights supported by a strong global community. So I like to show this slide. It kind of shows how the business is run. So Hatch is broken down into 3 separate business units, and we also, it's worth mentioning, are the largest shareholder in the fish site media company. So the first business unit is the Hatch Innovation Services, or HIS, which is the consulting wing of Hatch. So we offer consulting around the world for industry, for investors and governments in different countries. The second business unit is fund. So we are a venture capital company first and foremost. We raise capital for investing in early stage aquatech and aquaculture companies. So the first fund closed at 8.4 million, and this current fund, the Blue Revolution Fund, is due for a round of investing in Q1 2023. And that investing will be pre-seed, seed, and Series A for early stage aquaculture and aquatech. And that brings me on to the final business unit, which is our programs. And this is how we do the majority of our investing. So we run 2 types of programs. The first program is the Innovation Studios. So the Innovation Studio in Ireland, we run innovation studios around the world. Different governments pay us to run these innovation studios in country to stimulate an ecosystem of innovation and drive the industry forward. So here in Ireland, I manage the BIM Aquatech Innovation Studio. So we've been running that for 4 years with some really good success. And I'll come back to that with some of the funding opportunities available through that later. The second business unit is the Accelerator programs. So this is the more traditional accelerator where you come onto our program. Hatch will invest into your company, but in exchange for the investment, we'll take an equity stake. So with the smaller round, I think it was 8% equity in exchange for $130,000 into your company. And then because Hatch then own a part of your company and we have skin in the game, we need to do everything we can to ensure that your company is successful. So what we do is we put these participants through our programs. So the Accelerator program runs for 15 weeks. It's run physically across our 3 locations globally, and we use a 100-strong team of mentors, business strategists, the global Hatch team, and then we put people into our global network to ensure the best possible success and health of that company and best chance of a return on Hatch's investment. So that's the Accelerator. Now, so the Accelerator, as I mentioned, is equity in exchange for investment. So the Innovation Studios, and I'm going to speak primarily about the Irish studio, because that's the one that's most relevant here, the BIM Aquatech Innovation Studio. So unlike the Accelerator, the Innovation Studios, they're aimed either at slightly earlier projects or people who don't need to give up equity. So what it's the BIM Aquatech Innovation Studio is paid for entirely by BIM, through the European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund. So that allows us to run this program without charging any equity. So it's essentially free for these participants to come on the program. They operate more or less the same way as the Accelerator. It's just a more condensed version. So we still use that 100 mentor strong team, that global network, the global Hatch team, and we still plug people into that network suitable for their business and exposure to investors. So our team and all our mentors work with you to develop your business strategy, your core product, your team. We validate your scientific principles of your technology, work with you around IP and patents, work out the best market approach, product fit, and business model for you. And like the Accelerator, at the end of the Innovation Studio, these projects coming out, having a better understanding of not just the Irish aquaculture industry, but the global aquaculture industry and how to build that global aquatech company. The whole 2 weeks basically is about getting yourself investor ready. So the aim of you, and it's not the aim, you will at the end of the Innovation Studio come out of this program with a deck in hand, and you'll have access to investors, and so you're ready to present something to those investors, and you will have had a chance on the program to practice and perfect your pitching skills. Now, the differences between the Innovation Studio and the Accelerator, as I mentioned, there's no guaranteed investment from Hatch coming onto the program. So that's not to say we won't invest in companies, and we have invested in companies. I think on the Irish program alone, we've invested 4 companies since it started in 2018. So, but you do have access to investors. And on that program, so if I just speak specifically about the Irish or the BIM Aquatech Innovation Studio, there's EI, there's SOS Ventures, there's Aquaspark, and of course Hatch. So, you know, there is mentors there who are investors. You're having a chance to meet these investors, do a one-to-one with these investors, and you're also pitching to an audience with investors in it. And Hatch continue to work with you after the program to plug you into this network of investors, if that's what you're after. Unlike the Accelerator program, it's condensed. So I think that says program is 4 weeks. So we either run part-time 4 weeks or full-time over 2 weeks. In Ireland, we're going to be doing 2 weeks, Monday to Friday. We feel that system works better, and it will take place in the RDI hub in Kerry in October this year. And then the type of people, so you might be wondering which is more suitable for my state. So the type of people who normally we get on the Innovation Studio, it varies, but I would say 70% are startups in the first 1 to 3 years of their business. Then we would get 20% who might be researchers who have a valuable piece of research and they want to commercialize that and spin out into a company. And then the final 10% is made up of well-established companies who, you know, they don't want to, they may be raising, but they're further along and they're not in a position where they want to give up equity, and they might be moving from another sector into the aquatech space. So an example with that would be water treatment companies entering aquaculture. So that's the Innovation Studios. And then with the fund, so as I mentioned, Hatch on the separate business unit, the second business unit, the Blue Revolution Fund, which is on track for 2023, is going to be there for a round of investment. And we've done this on the back of our first round, which was 8.4 million, and it was very successful. The portfolio went on to raise in excess of 100 million in follow-up fundings to date. And from this slide here, so you get an idea of what we're looking for and what we're not. So what we're looking for is technological companies. So the word aquatech basically means a piece of technology that solves a problem somewhere on the global aquaculture supply chain. So that could be anything from genetics to sensors to engineering, software, right down to financial services and supply chain technologies. We look for an excellent management team. We look for a clean cap table. We make sure that you're in an investable region in the world. What we avoid would be companies with products that require a sustainable premium to be competitive. We avoid those sort of companies, and companies that are not owned by their own management. And we absolutely do not invest in unsustainable technologies or technologies that promote unsustainable activities in aquaculture and more traditional antibiotics, chemical health treatments. I would advise, if you want to see the type of companies we have in our portfolio, you can visit hatch.blue. I'll put that into the comment bar at the end, but you can see our list of portfolio companies. And then just to loop back then finally to the Accelerator Program. So the Accelerator Program, this is the program. In exchange for equity, we give you an investment. So as I mentioned, the new fund is going to be much larger. So we will be, rather than 130K like the last fund, it will be much larger, 200 to 400K investments into each company in exchange for a negotiable equity stake. So this will be a bespoke case-by-case basis that will have to be negotiated. The program will run for 15 weeks. And as I mentioned, access to our 100-strong mentors, the global Hatch team, and our global network. And you can see some of the focus areas we're looking at for next year's Accelerator Program. So nutrition, biotech, technology, always aquatech, alternative seafood, regenerative production, and health. And then finally, I'm just going to finish up with just a quick mention of the track record. So both programs, the BIM Aquatech Innovation Studio and the Accelerator, have been hugely successful. We see a great success rate of participants onto these programs go on and achieve future funding. So through the Accelerator Program, Hatch has invested in 39 startups. We've run 4 of them. Those companies have gone on to raise a further $100 million US. So huge success seen there. In the BIM Aquatech Innovation Studio, company, since we've run the first one in 2018, the companies and the participants have gone on to raise in excess of 13.5 million euros and create an excess of 130 Irish jobs. So both programs, very good success rates. And what I would say just in closing is, if you're unsure of what avenue is the best avenue for funding opportunities or what's most suited to you, I'm going to put my email address in the comment bar here, and I will encourage anyone to reach out and we can schedule a call and we can have a chat and work out what's best for you. Thank you for your time.
Great. Niall, that's a really good overview of Hatch. And I suppose from dealing with you guys for the past couple of years, you really do help and really support the companies that are coming through. Just to touch on when the next innovation studio with BIM is running, when are applications open for that?
So applications, we haven't gone live with the applications yet, but I do encourage people to reach out to me and have a chat, and I'll put you on the register. We'll probably open it up to applications in the new year. The program will be running October, I believe it's the 9th to the 20th of October, and that will be in the RDI hub just outside Clarny in Kerry.
Great. Okay. And I'd really encourage anyone to reach out to Niall. If it's not the right time for participants this year, at least you've made the contacts, and Niall can kind of signpost everyone to the relevant other agencies or funding institutes that could help these startups along the way. And it's also probably important to note that it's encouraging other companies in adjacent industries that might have a solution for the aquaculture market too.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thanks, Cleena.
Okay, great.